Alright, we are back with another episode. This time we're going to be doing Ahn'Qiraj, Temple of Ahn'Qiraj, because we did AQ 20 last time. Got my bots with me. Pretty geared group at this point. I've been working a little bit more on Naxxramas. It needed a lot more work than I thought. I would say that, like, if you're looking to seriously up your game in development, the best thing you could possibly do is go from 0 to 60, modifying bosses and instances to see what you can change, because you'll learn a lot in the process. So yeah, since I've done my initial first pass on Nax, I've learned a lot since then, so it's going to be a lot of good changes coming up. Hey, Belgarth. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and start. I'm probably going to turn this into a development stream at the end of the night. Depends on what I have energy for. Yeah, stuff like that. Except I need to reset the instance, so give me one sec.
What brings you here?
So, these guys here, where they do their mana burn, mana suck-in ability, they weren't targeting bots before, which basically just killed their entire mechanic, so I added them in the targeting method as well. It's funny because Belgar's saying that I'm doing a lot more bot development lately, and I really am, so it's not like I'm trying to be a bot developer, but yeah, it's still very much Tricker doing everything. It's just me for my individual repack. I've added a couple things, so. Really big fan of AQ40. Left a huge impression on me when I first started playing, because that's basically when I started playing, was right before so I've got a very nostalgic soft spot for AQ. I've been making adjustments here and there as well to various abilities. I would like to continue doing so. So Twin Emps right now is kind of in a weird spot. I have adjusted Twin Emps just to make it a little bit more bot friendly, but I'd really just like to redo the entire fight, if I'm being honest. So I could make bots move to the positions that they're supposed to move to. I don't know. Stock bots. I don't think stock bots suck that bad, but I think for the repack, the modified bots are definitely better. But that's just for our repack anyway. How's it going, Corlock? Like, there's stuff that you probably wouldn't want in your own repack, like some of the chattiness functions or whatever, but to each their own. So I wouldn't say that stock bots suck. I think what Tricker has done is amazing, so. But yeah, definitely come a long way in terms of bot knowledge, so. Scarum. So I've been trying to avoid mind control mechanics entirely. I think that they're super obnoxious with bots, so I've been changing out mind control abilities for other things, I guess. These guys probably need their auras buffed up a little bit, but yeah, I think quests are very development heavy in a lot of ways. You learn a lot from doing quests, because you're basically creating new creatures, and they're scripting, you're creating new items, all that fun stuff. So highly suggest that if you want to increase your development skills quickly, then quest creation is one good way to go. I'm gonna turn stuff down because it's too loud in my own ears. So we did add the... Ooh... That's from an add-on. I need to be able to drag and drop that. We did add a store menu, I guess. Let me show you. But this is just for... basically reward points. So you got mounts, pets, transmog, stuff like that. We probably need to increase the layer to move it forward one because the add-ons are overriding it, but that'll be nice. Then I can start deleting some of the custom NPCs. Yeah, ChatGPT has come a long way since we first started using ChatGPT 3 for development. Won't lie, we use it all the time. Still lots of limitations, but I think it's doing good things. And I think it's just making development easier and more accessible. So should have probably set one of my extra bots to tanking, but that's okay. Yeah, I should have set up my other bots. Yeah, I think it's a great learning tool. It effectively halves like the time it would take for you to learn crap normally, so I should have used a different marker for that. But I think the bots are going to kill it anyway, so... So usually you want to set up one main tank and two off tanks for this fight, and then have a main tank marker, or have at least an off tank marker sit on the main boss. Makes it a lot easier, but... Hello there, Holo. Yeah, spell editor's come a long way too. I don't know if you've messed with it for a while, but there's definitely a lot more information that's that it shows. I think I already got... Nope, I didn't get this pet already. So I did introduce at one point the raiding with leashes pets, but no achievements associated with it yet. Achievements are kind of... I'm kind of mixed on achievements. I feel like, why does it matter for a single player server? But at the same time, it's also that slight dopamine hit, I guess you could say. So, the Mind Slayer, that needs a different icon apparently. But messed with it last year before joining the Mighty Dinkle repack. Yeah. So I have a lot to show off actually for AQ40 at the moment. I did create a vendor for all the gear, so it makes it a lot easier to gear up your bots. And there's a 3 extended cost item limit, so I didn't include like an additional scarab because it's like five clay scarabs and then 5 golden scarabs, so I just doubled up on one of the scarabs for these. I don't think anyone's really going to care too much. But yeah, and then we have some new some new recipes. So we have a new reagent called Sand-Worn Shard, and that drops from various bags. You can mine it from the large obsidian shards and stuff like that. And then we have the crystalline scarabs, which mostly drop in challenge modes, though you have a super low chance to get them from what else? From stuff. Yeah, from the same things that I mentioned before. So, but yeah, so we have new gems. These are basically just the final blue gems of vanilla that you'll probably get. They're just slightly better than the green gems that you would get currently. And they require some decent mats as well. You get some neck enchants, so plus 10 spirit to your neck, some stamina, and defense. And then there's also new mounts as well for people who want them. There's even an ivory colored silhouetted mount, and they are armored kind of like the Black Karaji battle tank at the moment. So this one has armor on it. This was made by Atraxian. The other ones are the unarmored type. So we also get inscription enchantments for relics and wands. And that's pretty much it in terms of new crap for AQ40. And I should have turned on a challenge, but I totally spaced it when I was starting the stream, so we'll probably just do this as a challenge-less raid. Maybe I'll do a second run, but there's been some changes as well to challenges. So if you do one or two challenges, you won't get tyrannical, but once you start doing 3 or more challenges, you'll get tyrannical. I feel like tyrannical is just kind of one of those auras that, or challenges rather, that just makes everything else harder. But yeah, it's. I think eventually I would like to do a tiered reward system. It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of item creation and crap like that, but I'll get there eventually. Right now it's just based on the amount of challenges that you have active at a time for how many rewards you get. So Belgar says achievements are easy content, that's why. Yeah. They are easy content, and I should probably just add them in, but I guess the vanilla player in me doesn't really care for them that much. I never cared for them in WoW, so don't really care much for them now. Also, I don't know why, but I'm getting the forward slashes in my zone updates, and I can't figure out why, because the area tables are fine. Let me see if I can show you again. Probably just screwed something up, but whatever. Just see if it happens again, I guess. Usually skip those guys. These sand piles I've nerfed a little bit because it was just crazy how fast you were going with them, but you can still go pretty fast throughout the instance. Tyrannical will always make things harder, more damage and health mean a lot. Yeah, I mean it's kind of the generic. I would like to kind of do like once we have enough types of challenges, I would like to make like certain ones only at certain tiers type of deal. So it's just hard to figure out like, okay, what's a really potent combination, and what sort of loot justifies that, you know, stuff like that. So, but definitely something that's just going to be a work in progress. Probably will have a different approach for TBC with it, so that'll be good. Or I might just piggyback off of this system and make a new system altogether for TBC, I don't know yet. Been changing up a lot of icons too. Dinklestone has a new icon. The Karaji Lord insignias have a new icon, and they're also part of your currency tab. Scarab bags have a new icon. I just hate reused icons, so to me it always just made sense to add more. Why not? It's kind of fun creating them anyway. Yeah, Heroic Plus. No, I think in terms of like how. So I think it's easy to create Mythic Plus at this point, given the systems I have in place. So it's really just a matter of creating the right auras to do increased damage and health per level. That's really all it comes down to. But to redo the entire system at this point is kind of obnoxious, so I'll probably wait until TBC for that. Plus, you don't really have much wiggle room with your item levels between vanilla and TBC, so I think I talked about this the other day in the dev Discord, but it's basically 13 item levels is the wiggle room you have from like Nax Ramus to Reputation Gear in TBC, and it's I think either 36 or 26 item levels between TBC and Wrath, so you have a lot more wiggle room there, and then obviously you have a lot more wiggle room after Wrath because there's nothing there. So, yeah. So I think that's probably going to be a better place to do the Mythic Plus system. Will be in TBC. Let's see. Keep telling you need the Pimpgarst Wrath one that randomly casts the Nef class call poly on your raid group, yeah. Yeah. And Leewill keeps bugging me about that too. The class calls for Nefarian, but I just... It's kind of a pain in the butt to do that for bots. So he's probably going to stay that way. But basically he cycles through all the abilities, but since there's bots in your groups, not all the abilities work. So I did it that way because otherwise if you're like a paladin and you're only paladin in the group, he just keeps the boss immune the entire time. So that was the reason for that change. But yeah, let's see. Scorlock says, yeah, I made a raid for Classic, and the item level is 95, on Legendary be 100. If I were to do TBC, I would have to do something scaling, probably. Yeah, so I probably won't go past item level 105 for challenge mode rewards. That's really pushing it, to be honest, for vanilla. I think 95 is a perfect place to stay when it comes to item level itemization. But it gets hard to do that with certain things because we have one of the challenge mode rewards is Cloak of the Devoured, but it's but you have chances to get its item level to increase. So this is the standard Cloak of the Devoured. Right, 11 stamina, 10 intellect, spell power by 38, and then item level's 88. And I basically increased the item level by 4, 5, and 5, and I could probably decrease that to 3, 3, 3, but item level's just a mess in vanilla anyway. So basically the first increase is item level 92. The second one is 97. It gets a socket. You decrease some of the secondary stats. You don't really increase the other stats because of the socket. And then the final one that has a super like 1% chance to end up in a cache is that one. But reason why I added the sockets to them is because the socket punch doesn't work on anything past item level 95 because I don't want it. I'm probably going to do something different for TBC, but yeah. So figured adding a socket would be good. I don't know what the easiest combination is for these guys, but we're just going to do... Would need to increase, decrease TBC item levels to make room for vanilla, which I feel like wouldn't be worth. Yeah, no, I agree. I think at some point I'd be more inclined to do like an item level squish for vanilla and TBC than I would anything else. I think it would take a lot of work though, because item level calculations for vanilla just sucks. It's very inconsistent. You'll have two items that are the same slot type and same item level, and they have totally different stat budgets. It's just the way it is. So Brad the Impeller says, hey, been following repacks for a while, but I saw the Discord community got hacked a few months ago. Hope everything is going good for you. Hey! Yeah, everything is going good. We actually were able to recover pretty quickly from it, thanks to Russian Ranger and a bunch of other people. I would say it was probably mostly Russian Ranger at the time. So it's been a very good thing to have back. We also have backups for the Discord now too, which is good, in case something like that happens again. Obnoxious to deal with at the time, but that's okay. We needed to restructure anyway. That is like the most annoying AoE fear. You know, one thing I'll say for vanilla is that they definitely made they definitely know how to make their encounters annoying. So it's like kick you 40 feet or fear you forever. Mind control you. We got plenty of that kicking trash in here too. But yeah, I also need to finish updating tier sets for some of the OS specs. And then I need to go back and update some of the crappy ones. Ooh. That was close. So, I'm gonna have to look at that ability, but I don't know if that is supposed to spawn out of players, and if so, it should probably be spawning out of bots as well. So, this is probably the fight that I'm least familiar with in AQ40, to be honest, because we always skipped it in our raid. Also, I've been moving the raid assist bot. I don't like the idea of having a raid assist bot to cheat your way through stuff. That's a really nice wand. So I've been trying to adjust things to make them doable. Like right now, one of the things I was working on yesterday was the construct quarter of max 40. And I did manage to get bots to move to the positive or negative side for Thaddeus consistently, with some minor errors here and there, but it's super tiny. So if you stay out of the group long enough, you're fine. Problem is, like, there's a couple problems with it. Right now, like the 10% damage buff will only occur if on your bots, and it won't really occur on you, and it won't occur on the other side. So the player has to be in the group, which is kind of nice, because otherwise it means you have to stay alive. Otherwise, you're probably not going to get Thaddeus down. But yeah. And then it's only you die if you screw up your the side that you're supposed to stack on. So I don't know how I feel about that one yet either. It's just, it's a balance between like bots screwing up unintentionally, frustratingly, and like having bots ignore certain mechanics because it's just better to do so. Otherwise, you'll never kill the boss. So I don't know. Trying to do that happy medium for Thaddeus. Alright, let's see. I know this is not like the best place to tank things, but usually it's like right here. Not. It's in there. It's in the hallway usually, so. And then we've been making plans for a lot of things actually. So TBC, I'm probably not going to do the legendary system again. I'm going to have legendaries, yes. There might be some upgradable legendaries as well for like Thunder Fury. But and the Ashbringer obviously we're going to do. But I think what we're going to do is some sort of pseudo legendary enchantment system, I guess you could call it, but it's going to be through inscription. Maybe rune forging is probably the better idea. Is kind of akin to that, where you add a certain enchantment to a specific piece of gear. But yeah, I have to think about how to obtain said things and limitations, how many you can do. Probably just do like neck, belt, and something else. Relic or wand would be good for slots to pick, but yeah, I think it would be cool to be able to add some of the set bonuses from earlier tier sets to enchant onto your gear. So who knows? Well, that sucks. I'm gonna reset real quick, hold on. So I really don't want to start that fight yet. So that's what happens when you don't pull these guys in the spots that they're supposed to be. And then Belgarth's been working on extending the talent trees, so that's been really awesome. He's pretty much got it done. It's just a matter of fixing a couple bugs here and there. The only downside is, at the moment, in order to get them to show up in the talent frame, we have to make them visible in the spellbook. So that'll be something fun to hear people complain about, but I don't really care. I put avoidance mechanics in here for bots to avoid the whirlwind when it's active. Doesn't mean they're perfect at it, but they will run away. Or try to, at least. You can always use a spread command to get them to actually spread, though, but yeah, like they're not very good at running away. But before they would just sit there and eat it and die, so now they don't die as much. Shoot. Good pain suppression. And then Holo says he feels like he got into spell/talent changes too late. Well, I think there's always learning to do, and you know, you might figure out some stuff that even I don't know, and it'll be helpful, but yeah. Belgar says, meh, it's not that many spells that are going to show up in your spellbook. You're probably right. I need to figure out a way to hide them, potentially. Whether it's through, like, a script, opcode script or something, I don't know. But I'm not going to really waste too much time thinking about it. I forgot that this boss could be stunned. So yeah, bot's moving away. Honestly, it mostly protects just the casters. There goes my mage, as I say that. Yeah, lots of frame XML edits. I think I decreased the damage on that whirlwind and I need to increase it again now that I have avoidance in there. Holo says, mostly playing around, want to be helpful, and maybe change something in a spec that could need it. Yeah. I like where you're going in terms of hunter changes. I think it's totally fine to piggyback off of existing talents to add like damage increases for stuff. But yeah. Get on it, Holo, we need more devs. Yeah, we definitely do. I will say that it's hard to find people that I like to work with. And even Belgarth has told me that I'm difficult sometimes. So I will say that I like our current development team and the people that are in our development Discord, so that's good, but it's good to make sure that people are on the same page and have, you know, restrictions are really what's going to make your game better. So it's not so much about, and I know this is coming from me, and I learned, it's because I learned this lesson a little late. It's not so much what you add to your server, it's what you don't add. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of things that you could potentially do, but most of the time it's about figuring out what not to add or how to adjust things in a way that's still meaningful or whatever. So, what? I would never say that much. You've gotten a lot better. Yeah. Well, I think initially when we were trying to figure each other out, like, oh, what is this person like? What are their development habits or whatever? I think that's probably what we ran into. But there's always a little bit of a learning curve with the people that you end up doing development with. So I should probably delete my WTF folder at some point. Got a little bit of lag from crap that I shouldn't be getting lag from, so. But yeah. I'm probably a little too controlling on certain things. But it's gotten to the point with Belgarth and me that I trust his judgment on things. I might question things on occasion, but it's at the point where it's like, okay, yeah, you're right. This is an awesome thing to add. Like the sprint system. Yeah, once you let loose a little bit, we're all good. Yeah. I start, when it comes to any change, I always start with a bit of skepticism. And then I think about it. I think it's good to be skeptical about changes initially. Just think out like the potential outcomes of whatever it is that you're going to change. Like, is this going to cause emergent gameplay behaviors that you really don't want? Like, is this going to nullify certain aspects of the game and make them irrelevant? Is this making the game better in any way, or just easier? And if it is making it easier, did whatever it was before just suck? You know, like certain things like getting the dowsing runes for Molten Core just didn't make the game better in any way. I mean, I feel like you could have done something else with the Hydraxian Waterlords, but having someone have to run out all the time to get the stupid runes was not my idea of good gameplay. Sorry, I'm turning things down a little bit just so we have better performance. I might release my current WoW EXE because apparently the one person who's been playing with it has not been having issues, so I don't know. Trying to build certain functions into your WoW client is such a pain, and trying to make it work for everyone. You have to like adjust the order in which you're doing stuff. You have to, yeah, because not everything's done through a patcher. Some of it's done through 0.1.0 edits, and so currently in the repack, the bots don't get targeted for this ability. I went ahead and added that in. Should probably have my bots moving a little bit more. Let's do that. You can probably cheese the stupid wraps with teleport. I've been thinking about getting rid of the teleport function, to be honest, but at least for in combat. I think by default it's disabled, but I enabled it for some reason. I can't remember why. At some point it really does make certain encounters like a lot easier to deal with, like Onyxia's Deep Breath, for example, but it also makes you lazy. So really love the spread commands. If I could convince, if I could figure out a way that would make it more friendly for the actual repack, or not the repack, the GitHub, I would probably push it to GitHub, but right now it targets wandering bots as well, so it's just me being lazy. Yeah, we like being lazy. That's right, hello. Path of least resistance. I will say that it's super easy to get lazy in development, though. Like, if you're just sick and tired of doing encounters, then your encounters are not going to be that good. So this is partially why I do like second and third and fourth passes on things, is because like towards the end of it, I just end up not caring, and it ends up showing. So Belgar says I'm all about cutting back quality of life and making things to replace them, like sprint, which is perfectly balanced, plus sides and drawbacks. Yeah, no, I agree. And we've been doing a lot of removal of quality of life also. I try to keep things as config options, but still in combat with something, I don't know what. You know what I think it is? It's probably something in the tunnel. but some of my bots are not appearing on the same level as me, so that's... Okay, follow. But yeah, I really jibe with what Brandon Sanderson says about spell systems, essentially. When I take that into consideration with development as well, is your powers are only as good as its drawbacks. So Corlock says, yeah, my custom boss I made a month ago, I go back once in a while and fix things I didn't notice the first time or change things completely. Yeah, and that's kind of the development process in general, is like you learn things over time. Eventually your knowledge peaks and flatlines in some ways, but it takes a while to get there. At least that's true for like language learning. Diminished returns. But even then, with it being like a community project that tons of people contribute to, there's always something to learn because there's always something being added. So, and C++ is a huge language coding language, so there will always be something to learn. Alright, so getting bots to attack these things is also kind of painful, but... So this is probably going to take longer than it should, but... Oh, how did I get 50% from that? Also seems like my bots are not following the long attack distance command option. Maybe it's just because his model is so huge? I don't know. Short, long. So bots will also avoid these clouds now too. Now bots are being lazy, yeah they are. Welcome to the laziness team. Also, I removed the bot helper, the raid assistant, from this because everyone should have at least like 2 mages in their group, and if you don't, I'm sorry. But even fire mages will use Frost Firebolt. So... and a couple DKs for that frost damage. He's so tiny. So he does drop a new mount, super low drop chance. I think initially when I did my first pass of AQ, I added a lot of the stuff that Blizzard never implemented for items, so a lot of those have been added onto Oral. I feel like he should have died. But he didn't. I swear that was the last. ooze that we had to kill, but that's okay. I think the fight is slightly wrong, but it's close enough. I fixed it like 3 times already, so. Oh, and I actually got the mount. That's actually a 1% drop chance, which is funny. And a sharpened Silithid femur thing, which is good for mages and whatnot. So here's the mount. It's the gelatinous stalker, or what I want to call the gelatinous stalker, but... Am I able to mount? No. Should be able to mount. It's because I'm in combat. So there's a combat bug that I'm trying to figure out in AQ as well. I feel like it has something to do with this boss, but that's okay. I kind of want to double check that drop rate. So Visk. It might be 3%. Anyway. Let's see. Nope, go back. Yeah, see, I'm in combat again. Like, what is going on? So, creature loot. Yeah, 3%. 200% drop chance, so. That's it. Trying to think of what boss fight would keep you in combat. So why is my UI screwed up? Hold on. Polo says, I'd gladly take some mounts for free. It's 50k for Slime Tiger training. Lee Will made a change to Murky so that he stops dancing if you're moving far away. I don't know if it works. I haven't tested it out yet. We should do some testing though. Where you at, Murky? Am I not allowed to do this in combat? Like, what is going on? Probably just gonna clear this entire trash because I have, well, I only have 5 slots. I need to deposit some crap. Stop looting things, one of the two. No, I'm not gonna give anyone that. Just get rid of this spell power gem. I can make one pretty easily. Urban Death. Hello says, I can feel my brain hurting from looking at spell editor so much. Yeah. I like spells. I think spells are fun. Hate it when they don't work the way you want, though. It's not so fun. So yeah, I'm still thinking about Twin Emperors. I think I just hate the fight, to be honest. Like, it's changed, I've changed it, it's doable with bots now, but and I can make more changes for bots to actually go to the right positions or whatever, but rather just make the encounter a bit fresh. Soul Gemma says, or I don't know if that's how you say it. This looks so fun, downloading your repack now. Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. I didn't play my own repack for the longest time, and I think it's important for developers to actually play the things they're working on. Cough, cough, Belgarth. Holo says, oh, they are kind of fun to just play around with talent spells. Still trying my hand at making a custom spell, though. Yeah, it's even more fun once you get into custom spell scripting. Like Touch the Magi, still probably my favorite custom spell, actually, that Belgarth and I worked on. No, I can't make you. I see you playing Project Zomboid. Or 7 Days to Die. Yeah, I mean, I think the best spells in the game are really ones that create sort of a mini game. Like, how long can I keep this thing active? That kind of thing. Probably gonna hero during the Enrage. This boss is kind of a joke until the 20% mark, or 30% mark, or whatever it is. Why is my priest all the way up here? Like, go away. I always feel like this boss fight should have had ads of some sort. Probably need to make sure that Wyvern Sting, whatever it is actually targeting bots. I think it is. So I think I saw my priests go to sleep. Okay, Killing Frenzy now, so... Seems like she is spamming it though, so that's fun. Fix that. Yep, trader who spent way too much money on WoW stuff. Keep telling you... let's see... yeah, keep telling you... maybe you screwed up on that sentence, but... Hello Kitty Island Adventure, yeah. I think we are definitely going to be switching to Hello Kitty Island Adventure. That's what World of Warcraft is. Collect all the battle pets, all the mounts. I like mount collection, not gonna lie. There's certain things, like, there's so many people in the private server community that just dog on retail, and I really don't think that every feature in retail is necessarily bad. So... kind of had this discussion in the Discord the other day about bloat, I guess you could say. and the balance between bloat and just like choices. I think. Wow, you're doing a lot of damage. I think I increased that spell damage a little too much. Yep. Oh, you're not supposed to stack for that one. It's always, you never know if you're gonna, which one to stack for and which one to not stack for. So, I always feel like I get the meteor ones, but anyways, as far as bloat goes, like I honestly prefer that there's more choices. I know it creates a paradox of choice, and sometimes it's just a lot of bad choices and not really a lot of like normal choices, I guess. But I'd rather have more choices, and I think that's really what vanilla was all about. Is you had a lot of good opportunities to make some pretty bad choices and some good ones, but the choice was there. Like they just didn't take away from you. They didn't take talents away from you. They, like the new talent system after, I think Kata was just sad. Just like more customization and configurability. So I should probably change my racials, by the way. Stupid combat. Yeah, I had to look at the boss codes to see what is keeping people in combat in AQ40. I think if you log out and back in, it's probably going to fix it, but or just like leave the instance. Also, bots will use speed potions whenever you send them to their position, if it's not on cooldown. Okay, so there's the meteor. Yeah, I feel like I haven't gotten Thunderclap for a long time. Yeah, post-Kata system was trash other than getting max tier off. Spec Talent Mop was last good talent system. Yeah, I think like classes could still be enjoyable, right? And I think that's why I really liked Legion, was because the artifact system was basically a talent system, more or less. Not really, but it was like a progression system. It added some of that RPG feel back into the game. Because that's what's appealing for me, is like you put in some effort and you get an increase in your power level. That's and you could do it forever for the most part. Okay, yeah, we need a stack. Dragonflight was better, but not as great in terms of the system, I'm assuming you mean. Okay, we gotta spread. Kill that other one quickly, because this is just not going well. I'm scared to hit release. Part of me wants to release and just go back to the beginning of the instance and just see if I can reset that combat bug. Sometimes what'll cause that is if like a boss doesn't respawn certain invisible or despawn certain invisible NPCs. So that's one reason for combat bugs sometimes. Stack. Love how my shaman bot just chills and doesn't do what they're supposed to. Kind of like a real player. But yeah, so the Nether Belt add-on is actually changing to be usable while dead too. Should have been using guild chat, but just kill this one and I'll release Spirit. Half my raid's dead anyway. Surprised you haven't gotten a meteor on you yet. Trash is more overtuned than the boss. No. No, I just got two of the stupid Anubis bosses or whatever, or trash. The slime boss. Okay. Yeah, that is annoying. Let me restart the server real quick, because it is giving me the stupid combat bug. I just gotta think off the top of my head of what would be doing that. We'll look into it after everything is cleared. Definitely something to do, probably with the current axe encounter. Just waiting for my servers to start up. So unrelated question, but is Murky broken or does he not sell the repair anymore? No, he doesn't sell the repair anymore. So his quality of life, I'm thinking about what I want to add back in and when. So the goal with that is to make you work for it. So eventually you'll have to do certain quests for it, create certain items, stuff like that. Was that after the one bug boss? Forgot the name. But yeah, Murky's in a half-finished state at the moment. I don't know when I'll get back to working on him. I just think there's too much QOL that you don't have to work for. And I'd rather make the quality of life stuff that people enjoy something that they actually have to work for, because I don't like just giving it out. And people can always just add the items that are required for Murky to function with his vendor stuff into their bags. You just have to search on Discord what those items are. Yeah. Like, I even put a cooldown on the bind menu. Like, that's how much I'm really trying to go after things. I just don't think a lot of it's really needed. And you can always re-enable the teleport menu again, but... Oops, do not pull that. So, if we go through the hall and I still get the combat bug, then I know it's probably the hallway. But I do seem to remember there being something with current axe back in the day that would keep you in combat. I'm not sure what that would be. Probably one of his summoned creatures or something like that. And I changed the sand mound NPCs, so they shouldn't be engaging in combat either. But, yeah. Should have gotten Fell Rush for this. And like I said, it could also be the fact that I'm just pulling a crap ton of stuff. and that like it's going off the grid back there and still staying in combat because it just doesn't have time to catch up. Kind of doubt that that's what's going on. But we'll find out. Loaded grids are a pain. Like, I really just wish everything was loaded all the time. That would be ideal. But, or if you could like choose to at least load raid grids when you enter them so that you don't have to worry about stuff like that, that'd be nice. Okay, so I am out of combat. But yeah, I feel like Murky's like vendor and repair thing pretty much nullified engineering. So should probably have to do some engineering things for some of that stuff. Yeah, new repack requirement, 256 gigs of RAM to load all grids. I haven't tried loading all grids in a while, but it kind of makes me scared. Like, yeah, I think it would break my computer. But the last time I preloaded all grids was like a year ago, and it took up all my RAM. I think it takes up RAM that's like proportionate to your computer. I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest, but I have a lot of RAM. I have 64 gigs. So I do think I want to upgrade my computer at some point soon. Regardless. Alright, back to where we left off. Let's see, I know there's a cache here somewhere. Hey, is this official or is it some private server? It is my personal private server repack thing. With Azeroth Core. Get those to stack until I know that it's not Meteor. It made it too easy. Mercury's still adorable, at least, yeah. He will at least tell you where treasure chests are at the moment. And he'll interact with certain NPCs. He'll interact with certain zones. Stuff like that. It's going to take some time to flesh him out, but I really just want him to be like one of the longest creature scripts in the game. Kind of like a waifu script, I guess you could call it. But yeah, it's what I've done so far has taught me a lot in terms of just general Guardian creature scripting. So this is a single player server, which you can play with friends if you want to. But these are AI bots, so that I am playing with currently. Okay, well, I always accidentally skip one of these guys and then pull them during the Twin Emps. So Twin Emps right now is in a really sad state. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with him. Like I said, I think he's doable at the moment with bots. I did him prior to the nerf that I implemented, or the change-ups, I guess, because I try not to nerf things. I just try to compensate for things. And it's a pain in the ass of trying to get like the right amount of bots on each side. So I might skip Emps and come back to them later. But yes, so rather than casting an Arcane Blast that pushes your entire group back, he basically has an Unholy Aura. And I need to make sure. Priority targets, okay, good. Let me look at my tanks. So only... I'm trying to remember the stupid, spread. Okay, so formation, priority target, Emperor. I might try to just cheese him at this point. We'll see. So you can set up priority targets for different bots prior to pulling, and that's what I'm trying to remember what my stupid marks are. Formation, DPS. Yes, I think that one's one of them. And I don't think I set priority targets for tanks. I don't think. Okay. So basically, right now with the fight, you have to get your tanks where they should be. I feel like my markers are wrong and this is just going to go horribly. But we're going to try anyway. It's good to have 4 tanks. I think if you're one of those tanks, it's even better. I have changed Fiery Brand to actually taunt the target. Or not taunt the target, but it just generates a large amount of threat, so you could use that to pull the boss away if you're not a spec with taunt. So yeah. Make you move. I'm gonna make you a tank. Tank. And off tank. Here. Okay. See. I just confused you working for Blizzard now. He doesn't at all. It's all his own project. Okay. I just see the weapons and the gear and they have some different designs, recolors, yeah. Okay. Let me think about this, because this fight always makes my brain hurt. So I'm gonna put you over here. And I might need an extra healer, but I haven't really decided yet. So I'm gonna put some melee over there, and this is probably gonna be a miserable experience, but we're gonna go for it. And Blizzard ends up wrecking a lot of your bots. So again, I think automating, either having to automate where bots move with the boss when they have threat, or creating a new system or new fight would be probably the way to go. But let's do Luthero, and then I'm gonna do. I do remember setting up like specific targets for specific bots too. But like I said, we might just cheese it, kill it, call it good. I think that sets everyone up. But yeah, more or less even. If you can get them to target specific targets, that's good, but let's see if... Okay, good. Yeah, see, like, they're just not wanting to target the stupid... So I do think I need to set up the targets, and I think that's because none. There you go. Now you guys will actually attack the two, and I should have just set it up without targets before. That's okay. Because now you can see them like attacking pretty evenly. Then I'm just being stupid, but... I did decrease the distance a little bit on their heal, and I actually changed it to increase their damage done and decrease damage taken. It's a little bit more forgiving that way. But again, this is by no means the final state of this fight. So, still trying to figure things out, and my gear is broken. So, cheat a little bit. I just need to move out of the blizzard. So, I don't know, maybe I don't really need to do much with this fight. I think that if you just set them up properly on the sides that they're supposed to be, without markers, apparently it seems to be working fine. They're just attacking whatever's closest to them, so... Maybe I'm just, like, overthinking things. My bots did those two alone when I tried them, yeah. Bots are good at doing fights for you. They will carry you. Okay, stop attacking me. Like, I'm not even in front of you. That's the frustrating part. Yeah, see, now they're close enough that they're giving their Twin Link spell to each other. So... we'll probably move him. But... the other thing, too, is I've made him tauntable. And I guess you could kite them around if you wanted to as well. But just in an unfinished state at the moment is where they're at, so... don't attack me. And it's probably a good idea to have mages on both sides, because they will end up, you know, frost novaing. I did remove the spell immune mechanics and instead increase their resistances to certain schools, depending. So, Veclor, for example, has a lot more increased damage, and Veclanash will have higher school resistances, so... Pandas in your party? I thought you hated pandas. Yeah, I hate pandas. But it's nice to have some diversity. Or something. So, yeah, I guess if you need to move your bots closer, you can do that to get them to attack. Kind of takes a little bit of maintenance. I really just complicated my pulls previously, so I might just revert some of the stuff. That's okay. I seem to remember before bots not really attacking unless they were attacking your target, so... But I think they're probably far enough away from each other that that's not a problem, so... Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was a lot easier without markers. Probably... I don't know. Might not change it after all. Just revert some of the stuff. I still think the 40-yard range on the heal is probably better. Oops, hold on. We didn't want to start that encounter. Stop. I have his view distance set to like 1, and he still manages to aggro people, so I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, like, what is going on? Okay, we're just gonna loot things for the time being. Oh good, I got an enchant. And my stupid inventory is full, so... One of my mages is gonna love that offhand. Let me... let's see. So the Hidden Watcher, I've changed him up. I feel like he was too easy before. I've changed his loot, moved some of his loot into the challenge mode loot for the instance. But why is your view distance so damn high? That's what I want to know. Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking. I should probably share my screen, but... Anyway, he gets summoned right after Twin Emperors. If for some reason you leave the instance and didn't defeat him, you can come back and summon him with this Void Crystal. And he only is summonable with the Twin Emperors, so... Just wait for Belgarth overhaul. Yeah, I know. Belgarth is probably going to shoot some ideas for Twin Imps my way as well. We'll see. We might just make it a Wonder Twins activate fight. Did any of you guys get to do this for reals back in the day? I know I've never been one much for actual raiding. I've always preferred playing WoW. One reason I like bots, no one yelling at me. Yeah, I like bots for that reason. They also don't create drama over loot, or date the wrong person in guild and then cause a G disband. So that's nice. Stupid bot. Alright. So, hunters, word to the wise, disable aspect of the pack on your hunters before engaging in this fight. Holy crap. So one thing about this fight is that he'll spam Shadow Nova, or Shadow Bolt Volley on your raid if no one's actually in his ring. So, way to kill the damn fight. That would be a fun way to troll people, though. Where is Illyria? I always have to spread my damn bots. And where are you at? About ready to kick my hunter from the group. So we'll manage abilities. Aspect of the Pact is off. You have a lot of imported NPC models in your current repack release? Yeah. Definitely do. Want to see a fun one? (80218). We need a model for blue in the game at some point. Yeah, I'm not actually planning on using this, but I think it's kind of hilarious. Or there's 2B from Nier Automata. Let's see, morph 80217. I don't think this is in the repack yet. This is fairly recent. But yeah, not your standard standard NPCs for sure. They just don't. Okay, why am I aspect of the pack again. Even though I told you to turn it off. Okay, so biggest thing is that killing these guys near the boss will actually increase the damage he takes. So you usually want to keep them CC'd until you have a bunch of them, because then you can kill the boss pretty quickly. He has different phases to the encounter. The tentacles don't really do a whole lot of damage. I've been working on increasing their damage a bit. And it's usually best to hero when you have a number of stacks or whatever. But yeah, tentacles are just mostly annoying at this point. That you probably want to clean them up every once in a while, so... Oh. Okay. Keep an off-tank mark on the boss, otherwise all your bots are going to leave the area. And then these guys, I've decreased their health a bit, but if they reach the boss, they increase his size and damage for everyone that reaches him, so... Plus they actually do some passive damage as well, so... Before you could ignore them. I don't know as I can ignore them anymore, but we'll find out. I might have to remove their passive damage as well. So let's get these guys dead. Now we're in phase 2. And he has a new ability. Now he has 2 stacks of the Shadow Nova. Just gonna go ahead and hero here. We might want to kill this guy too, because that's actually pretty big if we get a third one on him. I need everyone to move closer though, please. Okay, 3rd stack. That's good. There's really no reason not to stack, actually, so... Yeah, it looks like the increase to Shadow Bolt damage means I actually have to manage the stupid tentacles, so I'll probably do that this go around once this debuff is off. Okay. The amount of NPCs in this fight, though, causes quite a bit of lag. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've thought about reducing the amount of NPCs. I just, So now we're in the final phase, I guess. Or maybe not. I think we have one more phase to go. So let's grab everyone, stack up, kill these guys, do some nice damage on the boss. Maybe we'll get a third one to come out. Yeah, it's starting to hurt. So the AoE spell that he does for the second phase, I did increase the damage on, so... Good, 3 stacks. Alright, we're just gonna ignore everything else and see if we can just burn him down. I kind of want to do an achievement for if you get like 10 or 15 stacks on the boss. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah, you don't want to be in the middle when those things merge on the boss because of the AoE damage they put out. So, the closer they are together, the more damage they're gonna do to you. That's that fight. So he only drops 2 items now, which is good. Not 2 items total, just 2 items at a time. I've been changing some of the loot amounts for some of the custom bosses that we've done, just because I feel like it was a bit much. So, got some spell power wrists and Seal of the Shadow Herald. I did add some obsidian chunks here, just so you can have an extra couple chances at some of the new reagents. Sorry, I need to empty stuff again. I'm exalted, so these don't matter anymore. Challenge modes will also drop Brood of Nozdormu rep tokens that are like 250 rep. They're bind on account and you can send them to your alts, so something to consider. Or you can just use them for yourself, either way. It's like these things don't drop anything half the time. Or contain anything, rather. Let's do short attack distance. How difficult is it to customize / create content? Like, is it fairly easy to pick up and learn? I think it's getting easier as AI gets better. Coding has just gotten easier with AI as a result, I'd say. There's not a lot of good public information on development in general, which is why I create guides when I have time. So that's one thing I would say for development in WoW. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that I would say if you're going to start somewhere, start with Lua. Lua scripting is great for learning things. You could start learning through just kind of looking through the server's database website, seeing what smart scripts do, all the different tables do, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, overall it's whatever. It's really a time investment thing. So if you have time for it, if you have time to learn, if you have the patience to learn, if you have an interest in it, then you'll do it a good job. It just takes time. That's like the biggest thing. But I think that, so for me, when it comes to like language learning in general, I tend to immerse myself a lot, so that means like hours and hours and hours of reading and studying a day. And it's the same with coding, so my approach was basically just do it every day until you get good at it. And then, yeah, it's just about heavy immersion, that's all. Looking at guides, figuring out, you know, taking some free classes online in coding, stuff like that. Lots of trial and error. We still screw up so much, man. Like, there's so many little things that get broken before we actually complete something. Like right now, Belgarth did an amazing job on getting easy collections on the version that I'm on to actually add the transmogrification to your character, because some things were not being added for some reason. But the weapons and stuff are now missing in appearances unless you click on a new tab, and then you click back, and they're all there. But then when you hit the back button, because there's all these empty lines here, these lines are going to be empty in the previous buttons as well. So it's always like make one thing cooler and break another thing. So but yeah, I mean it's really just a matter of perseverance. You know, and time. That's it. Coding's always been super hard for me. I've done like very basic Minecraft modding, but that's about it. And just Java, yeah. Yeah, I mean, barrier to entry I think has gotten a lot better in the last 2 years. But that's just me. Gotta come up with lots of weird ways to make things work. Yeah, so for example, challenge modes. Challenge modes in the repack right now just basically put an R on the player, but it was causing some issues with like updating the auras, or if like the player was dead, it wasn't applying the challenge mode thing. So I ended up creating a dummy spell that periodically summons an invisible NPC that puts the aura out. So yeah, that created some other problems too that I had to fix. So for example, the NPCs won't despawn because you set them up, and like if there's too many in one area, then the auras stack. So I have to do like range checks for the creatures, and I'm sure there's a way to do this through map iterations. I just don't know. And then I had to figure out a way to remove the stupid challenge mode creature aura things from the map once you left the map. So did that, and then I was coming across the issue where if I stayed in the instance too long, it would crash the server when I left the map. So the problem there was that some of the creatures, or the challenge creatures, had despawned prior to me leaving, so I just increased their spawn timers, and now there's no reason for a player to stay logged into the map for like a week. But if they stay longer than a week, then now they'll crash the server, but that's so unlikely, so you know what I mean. It is a lot of weird like solutions to things, and that was a really bad pull. This is either going to end poorly or kill the Mind Slayer, ignore the rest. It's a good thing my group is decently geared. What are some other weird things that, like, I'm trying to think of other weird solutions. Random crap. Distributing the challenge mode rewards, that's another thing. Sorry, I know I'm bringing that up. So for for C++, it's really easy. Just do a call for the distribution of challenge mode rewards in the script itself. But if a creature is scripted in Smart AI, basically what I do is grab another invisible creature, have the Smart AI creature kill that creature, and then distribute the challenge from that scripted creature. So it's a bit silly. And again, like, all of this could probably be done through a map script of some sort, but I just don't know where that stuff is in the code base. And when I figure it out, it makes my life easier, but most of the time I can't find that. That's like I would say that's the biggest hurdle, is trying to find stuff in the code base to do what you want to do. So, but you can get creative with your solutions. I think it took Azeroth Core like 3 years to fix their gossip menu. So if you were talking to an NPC and you moved, like this was last year, and you tried to interact with the gossip menu, you couldn't. So it was literally one line of code that was causing that issue. It was like that for years. Yeah, like inscription being a secondary. So inscription, that was another one. So inscription is, I wanted to change to a secondary skill because I'm going to be adding the new enchantment system to that for TBC or whatever, because it really needs something to do. And for some reason it was showing all the ranks of inscription, and it was coded on core side. So I just had to put in an argument for the core, essentially. And thank you, Belgarth, for finding that. So stupid. But like, who'd have thought? Because I had like the spell ranks set up and I had the skill lines set up correctly, but it was still showing multiple ranks of inscription. It was so weird. What is going on with that? Okay, it's just ground effect. It's not an error. I think of what else I fought with. Leveling challenges, I guess. Trying to think of what did I struggle with there. There's always like creative things that people will do to get around things. So trying to figure out like how to break your own systems and then fix them, because people will figure that out, is always a challenge. But it's a little bit easier that we're on like a single player repack. It means that we don't have to worry about certain security things. And we can kind of be a little bit less performant friendly on our scripts. I really don't want that to be the case, because who knows if we're ever going to be a public realm or not, but yeah. Is placing stuff in the world easy? Like, can you just GM command and decorate areas? Yeah, you could. There's also a program called Nogget. MLT Media has a number of guides that are pretty good on Nogget, and those are good for like environmental changes, or if you want to build houses, stuff like that. You can do some of that with just like dropping random game objects to like if I wanted to drop, you know, game object, add. If I wanted to add this platform here, I could do that, and if I wanted to add like a something else on there, do that. You know, So stuff like that. And then you just, if you have Azeroth admin, the only thing I really use it for is just deleting stuff. So the one that I provided with the repack is updated to work with Azeroth Core a little bit better, because the one that's in the catalog for Azeroth Core is kind of broken. So, but let's see, I'm psyched let's see, I could write a thesis on talents at this point. Yeah, the talent system was a pain in the butt to figure out. That's one thing that we had to work around too, is like if you try to add additional rows, even if you reorder all the talents in the talent DBC, it just screws up the frame. So Belgarth literally is rewriting the entire thing, or writing a new thing and then overwriting. But psyched for what you got for us. Yeah, it'd be kind of fun to do a place, a little personal house, use Dinklestone with a custom point. Yeah. It could be fun. So, Belgarth, your biggest anticipated feature for this raid, you get to see in action. Literally, the change for like making the stupid dirt mounds show up later was just moving a couple of pieces of code. That's all it was. And I tried messing with it for a while, and the NPCs would just disappear and not show up at all. So then I was like, oh, I could just move it within this other code block. Why not? I should have probably heroed, but that's okay. So maybe that's one thing I need to check, is if Sandblast is just targeting players right now. I don't know if it is. It seems to be... Yeah, see, it's just targeting me at this point. I don't know if it's supposed to target tanks, or what is it supposed to target. Yeah, so if your bots are still stupid, you could use the summon command. A couple of them died, but it's delayed now enough that you can actually run away. Sorry that I didn't show it off better, but you'll see it the next time. And I slowed them down too, because they're just gonna, you know, they were at a higher speed than like the actual run speed for stuff. So that made it challenging to, let me put icon and you around and kill some of these beetles. Yeah, I'll change that, the Sandblast. Because you could, I think with the Sandblast, you probably just want to spread your bots around the boss anyway. See, now they're spread, and now they don't hit everyone. They'll still hit a lot of people, but let's see, spread 40. Now they're better spread. Except, yeah. I was using every movement ability I had and had trouble getting away. Yeah, it's because it was happening immediately, so... I remember there being a delay there. Maybe it was just the timer that our raid leader called out and told us to get away. I don't know. But either way, it's there now. It's not going anywhere. So, yeah. See, nothing, nothing, nothing. And now it starts, but... Of course, paladins have it easy. I'm just gonna move all my bots over here while I just That is one thing I don't like about the dirt mounds right now too, is they only target players, and I tried getting bots to run away from them with the AoE Vex bot check, but for whatever reason they don't want to work. So something to fix in the future. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is like you should at least retain the mechanics for the player. That is probably the bare minimum. One thing when I started doing Trickers NPC bots was, yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff ignored bots, but the player was still forced to do all the mechanics, and I felt like that was pretty fair. But I'd like it if bots did more mechanics naturally as well, so that requires custom scripting. But I don't think I heroed at all in this fight. Should have frickin' bubbled. Hi, I know may be a bit early to ask, but when will TBC be opened? On the public realm, you mean? You can play it anytime you want on your own private server. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, you can play through TBC at the moment, but in terms of when we're going to start on it, probably next year. I would say sometime. It really depends if we get to yeah, I mean, Emerald Dream and Gilneas pretty much need to happen prior to doing TBC. Those are the two big things. But there's a couple other things that I'm wanting to do first, just because I need certain systems prior to going into TBC. So we're trying to settle up a lot of that stuff right now as well. So, yep. And it might get to a point where we're just like, screw it, we'll work on both TBC and vanilla at the same time. I don't know. I'm not sure if we'll get to that point, but big part of me is the reason why I haven't really worked on TBC yet is because I know Azeroth Core is still working through a lot of TBC content, and I'd rather stuff be fixed prior to me working in it, and them changing things, and then me having to change things back again. That's always a pain in the butt. So just hide my bots real quick. Other Regent Banker, deposit all you. Sounds great. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's just I want to get there as bad as anyone else, because as much as I love why is this mound still here? Is the boss active again? No, it's just a bug. That's great. Well, we can throw in a script to despawn all the dirt mounds once the boss is dead. That's pretty easy. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff that even Azeroth Core misses from time to time. So they might have been complete with vanilla, but there's still so much that needs to be done. And I'm talking mostly about Chromie, not Azeroth Core. When I kind of use the two interchangeably, Chromie and Azeroth Core, but yeah, same thing basically. But yeah, I have a growing fondness for TBC. But I kind of want to show you guys the Thaddeus fight that I've been trying to fix with bots after this. So maybe we'll go into Nax for a bit. We can shift into a development stream then. I will say that Cthulhu is really hard with even one challenge active. So that'll be fun. Like Echoing, I basically nerfed Echoing Enfeeblement a little bit just because of Cthulhu. So that was only one challenge that was causing me so much pain. Wrath when? Pandaria when? Legion when? Yeah. Let's do Legion now. I will do Legion. Yeah, I mean I prefer not to work on like stuff that should be fixed already kind of stuff, which is why I haven't picked up any sort of Legion core. It would just be a lot more work. That's why I love Azeroth cores, because they just have stuff that's always getting worked on. Most things work. And all I have to worry about is the custom content, for the most part. Which isn't true, actually, but, you know. It's a lot more true than, like, if I picked up a Legion server. Because then I'd have to worry about quests working, have to worry about, like, I don't know, some random crap with VMAPs, I don't know. Yeah, so, Public Realm, it's, at the moment, just vanilla, but that's because I don't want, maybe I'll open it up in the Public Realm at some point, but honestly, the Public Realm is just there for people who don't want to install the repack themselves. And I could do a better job at advertising it, but the goal has never really been to have a private or a public server. Maybe that's disappointing to some. But that's just the reality. Yeah, I notice you have maps for every zone in the game pretty much. Any plans on developing past Wrath, or maybe use those imported maps for 60, 70, 80. So yeah, those might be in the database, but they're not necessarily in the game. So for example, Warlords of Draenor has data in the maps table, but we don't actually have the map. We do have Pandaria, we do have Legion, and we do have a number of dungeons, but yeah, I mean there's basically like my to-do list and like the planned timeline kind of stuff, and then at the very bottom of that to-do list is Pipe Dreams, and Pipe Dreams is stuff like Pandaria and Legion. So yeah, but who knows? I think, yeah, just have to think about it. I don't know as I really want to create a crappier version of retail, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where I'm at. I would like to do something that's good. It is cool, like, oh yeah, this is all on a Wrath client, but like when it comes down to it, you want to create something that's a little bit more unique. Jade Forest is gorgeous, IMO. Yeah, I like it too. Thanks for all the hard work, hoping the repacks become easier to deploy via Docker. I don't know. I've never compiled via Docker. It's just the same thing as Azeroth Core, so whatever Azeroth Core does to compile is, or make that easier, is totally on them. I don't do that. Also, spread command here is amazing. Probably gonna screw up on this fight a few times. Why are you guys not spreading? they're trying to move through the boss. Okay, so... It's a good idea to not let your melee attack while he's doing the beam, because they'll always go in the beam regardless. So I usually just use this time to clean up the tentacles. If we do Mop and Legion, it's going to be a custom spin, not doing a one-to-one. Yeah, no, I agree. Absolutely. But I think, yeah. Let me just get my range to attack, but if my melee could, like, not... Okay, that's fine. Spread... Sorry. Spread 40. Trying to read and kill Cthulhu at the same time is not easy. Just keep a half hill that farm shit, really, yeah. There we go, there's a pretty good circle. Let's try to keep the nice parts. You know, it's actually probably better to just summon them again and keep them standing so that they can actually do some attacks to Cthulhu. I know it's cheesy. And it gets... That's the other thing that I really don't like about the summon command, is that it gets them to effectively interrupt things that should probably not be interrupted. But bots are really good at interrupting anyway, so... Maybe putting a cooldown on it or something, I don't know. And again, I-beam is only hitting up to, I think, 4 targets. We could probably change it back now if we wanted to with the spread commands, but I still think bots would manage to screw it up, so we'll wait on that. Let's have everyone come here, kill the first one. And again, the stomach stuff doesn't work. But you do still get the Aura of Despair, which is basically stomach acid, and you have to go dispel it at one of these lights. And you can't just stand on the lights because damage done is decreased and healing. So it's a good idea to just come over here, get the stacks off, move over. And it's only players that get that, otherwise I think that'd be rather annoying with bots, so... Should probably kill that tentacle first. Alright, then we're gonna hero. Kill the boss without AoE. And I know the visual red is gone, but I think that's just a limitation on like visual effects on an NPC. It's still there, but... Yeah, not everything in retail is bad, it's just a lot of mess stuff that comes along with the good, yeah. I think some of the stuff you have to pay for, or that you actually end up paying for, is kind of obnoxious, but... Not like you have to pay for tokens, but... My biggest thing is I just wanted a single-player experience with custom content in it, so that's what I created. Except now we need to change Skull so they're not attacking Cthulhu anymore. But yeah, Enfeeblement made this a lot harder in terms of like stuff that got spawned. I did have to increase the giant claw tentacle damage a bit. Starting to take a little bit of damage. So we're gonna go. Luckily, my shields. Holding up pretty well. I might need to increase the damage on that though. But again, with challenges on, it's a lot harder. I was having a hard time just keeping up on tentacles, really. So I'm gonna be surprised if anyone does this on Tyrannical. Maybe with like max Nax gear kind of stuff, but if anyone's gonna do it, I bet it's gonna be Holo. There we go. Thune is dead. What do we get? We got random belt. We got Gauntlets of Annihilation, which is what replaced the stupid level 47 gloves or whatever for a lot of classes. So yeah, AQ40. Some adjustments needed still here and there, which I'll probably finish off tonight. But let me kind of go show what's going on with Nax and Thaddeus, because at the moment, let's just do. I still need to fix this stupid teleport location, by the way. Fly on, because it ports you under the map. I swear I fixed it like 3 times, but maybe not. Alright, here we are. Flew all the way over from Nax or from AQ40. Just pretend. Mod speed 1. Fly off. Okay. So I had to change the map, unfortunately due to some bug that was happening on like the top half of the Eastern Kingdoms. I might have to do the same for Kalimdor, but we'll see. So it deleted some of the stuff that I had added here on the custom maps. So first thing to note, one of the biggest changes is currently on the repack, if you die in Nax and you respawn, it'll port you back to the graveyard. But I needed it to keep you inside the instance because of challenge modes. If you die and you leave the instance, it's going to reset the challenges. So that was priority number 1. So you will spawn within the instance. These guys, who were super obnoxious, were using level 80 abilities. So they were basically one-shotting your entire raid. I don't know how some of you were able to clear it, because some of you mentioned being able to clear it, but yeah. I've got so little room in my bags right now. I forgot that I reset my raid IDs, so we may just skip all the way to Thaddeus, but I kind of want to test some of the changes I made on Patchwork as well, because because I increased his Hateful Strike damage back to vanilla values. And then, what else? Changed some things on Gluth and Grobulus. But this is all the stuff that's taking a long time for me to push an update, is because I have to go through and test things out, make sure things are working the way I want. So I'm sorry that it's been like 3 months since an update. Well, 2 months I guess, but just want to make sure things are working correctly. And in some cases, like with Disease Cloud, for example, these are still level 80 spells, but I'm okay with that. I think, considering all the power creep, it's a good idea to just keep certain things at level 80. But part of the reason why I'm addressing, or why I'm doing the challenge modes in general, is just to address some of the issues with power creep. So, true update or right? Just kidding, of course. Yeah. Yep, I know. I used to update like every week. I remember that being a thing when I first did the repack, but I just can't sit there and upload and deal with that all the time. We will update back to stock Wrath, yes. That's what we're going to do. Actually, I should probably just get... waiting for that grate to respawn. Yeah, we're just doing a part of X, not all of it. So I'm gonna be stupid and see if I can pull some of these, but actually I don't know why I did that, but alright, run away. You're running in the wrong way. It's okay. So that slime damage was also level 80 values, and I switched that back to 60. But, you know, there's stuff on the Mad Scientists, for example, a couple other things. I just don't know how you guys did this, Holo. Some of these things I'm like I know that Cutie had some skips, but yeah. Actually, I think I need to kill all the rest of the golems out there too, because they pull now. It's okay, we need a hard mode on patchwork anyway. Get good Dinkle, yeah. Well, level 80 spells hit harder on level 60 characters, so there's that. We're gonna have to do the slimes again, but that's okay. Still in combat with something because we pulled it all the way over here, but... I think this thing is supposed to pull if you enter the room, I can't remember, but... Someone let me know if that's supposed to have a larger aggro radius. The big slime in the middle. I love that you added the Tom Keck models, so good. Yeah, I love Tom. Such a nice guy. And Traxian converted all the mount models. We have some more for like the Argent Dawn mounts. So basically the same Paladin mounts, but for the Argent Dawn and stuff. And I'll probably add those eventually. I'm trying to conserve space at the moment, so. We also have a Tom Well, actually, is that... Let's see if I can find Tom, because we have him as an NPC in the game now, too. So he will sit there in... he sits there dancing in Darnassus now. He's not available as a mount yet. But I guess if you want to ride Tom, eventually you'll be able to as well. So, yeah, those are his Lightsaber mounts. I just haven't figured out a good, like, where I want to add them in the game kind of thing. I don't really want to overwrite the current ones. I just want more mounts. Maybe I could put it as part of the store, I don't know. There's still a couple of inscription recipes I need to add to inscription itself, because they're only available on the vendor for inscription. I think those are like the shaman tank one. But yeah, I mean, Death Knight bots being able to do Gorfine's Grasp is really nice. It is kind of broken on the repack right now because it'll pull through floors, pull mobs that should probably not be pulled, but I spent a lot of time fixing that, so... Like, Holo was pulling some of the flame tsunamis on Smolder. I was like, okay, yeah, let me add some more checks. And then someone who I talk to on a regular basis on the WoW modding Discord actually released their Gorfine Grasp script. It's a little different from the Blizz-like one, where if you target a player, it grips enemies, and if you it grips it to the target, right, not to your player. But yeah, I mean it's a lot easier that way if that's all it does. But ours is a little bit more Blizz-like, and it adds damage to the gripped targets as well for the Death Knight. So. I killed such a good run too. Yeah, I'm sorry. Alright. We'll see how this goes. Go. Kill. Attack. Yeah, hits a lot harder now. I should have probably... And he does a poison bolt volley now. I just added that in. So... I think I decreased his enrage timer a bit. Maybe? Or maybe that was on Thaddeus. I think Thaddeus I had switched to 7-minute timer because Holo complained that since you weren't getting stacks from the charge positive stuff, I changed it to 7. It's 6 again. Yeah, that hits really hard. This Croco guy is not really a normal tank for me, so his gear kind of sucks. But I'm liking the increased damage of... Oh, I might need to decrease it still. Yeah, see, I just got wrecked, but that's okay. Okay, that is another bug that probably needs to get fixed. So I think what's happening there is the graveyard override, because individual progression has a graveyard override as part of the script. So if you revive, in the instance, it's just not working the way it should. So I'll look into it. I really, it's probably that though. I think that's what it is. Hey, finally caught your stream. I'm having a blast with your repack. Thanks for your hard work. What really pulled me in was this project was primarily aimed for your son. Yeah, thanks. Yep, he's getting closer to that age. I'm probably going to have to nerf Hateful Strike again, and that's just because the way you mitigate damage changed a lot between Wrath and Vanilla, so... But the Hateful Strikes are doing like 20,000 damage baseline, so that's insane. And it'll probably screw up... see, hold on. It'll probably screw up challenge modes if it's too high, and just make them impossible, which is not what I want. So let's look. Just switch my screens. Well, that's fun. Let me change that. I haven't shown my actual computer screen in a while, so... Let's do... I'm trying to remember the ID. Eastern Kingdoms. Plague Lands, probably. No. So this is in modules, because it's individual progression. And we go to the next scripts. So I'm going to try just commenting out the stupid graveyard. I do worry that that's going to screw something else out, but... So that's the player script for the graveyard. And I changed it to spawn inside, but the dungeon respawn module should just do that anyway. And I really just need to make that module like something you can't disable at this point, because if people are going to do that, it's going to screw things up. So let's see. We'll comment that out. Let me make sure that there's no other... Yes, I need to comment that out too. Then I grab Patchwork. So Hateful Strike, I feel like I probably need to create a new spell ID for anyway. Because I have a feeling that this one is used in Wrath, but we'll find out when we get there. So let's make it do... We'll go with 18,000 to begin with, because it was actually at higher values. So we'll do that. But we're going to try it anyway, just on normal mode. And then I kind of want to rebuild real quick. Let me build. And I just want to test to see if dungeon respawn will actually pick up on it now. So... Okay. Apparently I didn't fix something. So the reason why they had the Game Yard Grave override in individual progression is because they didn't want you to going to the one in Northrend, but you should be able to anyway. Unless you have GM mode on. I don't know. Well, but regardless, the dungeon respawn module should be picking up on that, so... And yeah, we got new loading screens coming up, so... Okay, going all the way back over. So we gotta test two things. We gotta test being resurrected by a bot and just dying and resurrecting normally. I should have a bind menu for this, but I haven't added it. Yeah, I mean, that's just the normal Silithid mount, but I really like the gelatinous stalker. It's a cool mount. It's called something else on retail, but just gonna let you guys deal with that. And I tried to make which ziggurat you're supposed to go to readily apparent, like beam in the sky, you know. It's just I can't tell if it's like crooked or not. I don't think it is, but could just be my OCD playing with me. Kinda looks crooked from the front, maybe? I don't know. Alright. First thing we're testing. I might need a sign that says Nax. Oh, what is going on? Okay, so it spawns you at your default graveyard at the moment. Let's go. I'm gonna add probably a teleport command for Nax 40, so let's do that real quick. I just don't know why the respawn module is not picking up on it. I even added like custom inserts at one point. Maybe I need to add them back in. I think it's because of the way that you zone into the instance. Okay, GM fly. I do want to test the other way to resurrect though. Let's see. I mean, it would be easier to script in probably just to reset at the entrance, but the stupid module should be picking up on it. Alright. So we'll unhide. Hold on. So just die. Hey Buffoon, how you doing? It's been a minute. Didn't recognize you for a sec because I'm used to your Discord avatar. Of course, now I have to wait 2 minutes for the stupid res timer, so let's kind of look at what's going on with module. So, sorry, I really do want to get around to showing Thaddeus, but okay, so next 40. Maybe, well, it's dungeon respawn. There we go. Might just need to add a custom argument for it. Gonna create respawn data. So on before teleport. Data. Yeah, so it's supposed to save your player data, and I did create an insert at one point. But I haven't seen it like actually save player data in the actual table that it's supposed to. Okay, why? See, it's like still putting me at the entrance. That's just not normal, you know? So it might just be something else entirely. Or you just might be screwed on challenges and have to deal with it. I don't know yet. It's so weird. Why is that happening? Oh, that's the area trigger. Fast flow, that's again the 60 required attunement. Required attunement, teleport to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to create some custom scripting to deal with that. Probably. So, good to know. We'll just keep it that way for now. Then I'll come back and deal with that. But yeah, I was worried that was the cause for what's causing you to spawn at the entrance rather than where you're supposed to. So, how do you die like one-shotted by nowhere? I see some player level equals 80. Oh, you have some map identity issues. Yeah, I have map identity issues apparently, so. Yeah, so that player equals 80 stuff is to make sure that players end up in the right map because, you know, there's that level 80 Nax, and then there's level 60 Nax. So That's what that is. And that's how you kill people with Death Grip. Okay, let's try. I'm gonna try Patchwork with the buffed values for Hateful Strike still. If it doesn't go well, then I'll just restart the server and do the nerfed ones. Because again, this is stuff I haven't fixed yet. Or tested, rather. So, and I haven't been using my flasks, so that's fun. Let's do... 10.3, 10.3. I think it's weird that my Paladin and Death Knight have the same health. Maybe I do need to make... Oh, what is going on? Hey, my tank! But, we'll see. Consumable. Ah, wrong consumable, but that's okay. More strength is not going to hurt anyone. I'll probably skip to Thaddeus after this. If I can get the door open. Without having to kill everything else. Public Realm looks stable. Yeah, until Wise Wolf logs in. Then he crashes it. But yeah, it's been good. I've been impressed with how long it's stayed up recently. Granted, there's still like this reputation manager and grid notifier error that I keep getting occasionally when I log into a character, and that's because of Tricker. Like, someone else reported the same error. So I think the bots need to have a look at. And I think that's honestly what's causing the crash when you log in, by the way, so. Yeah. Holo crashing it. So far... Ooh. Mitigate better. Like, take less damage. Like sitting here trying to off-heal. That is one thing I've noticed, is bots will waste time dispelling rather than healing. So I might be changing the bot logic on that for a couple of them, because now I think I'm going to be the next one to die, by the way. Goody. Broke your spell DVCs, yeah. I'm probably going to increase the dot, or just the damage in general of that spray, because it gives people a little bit more to do during the fight. I just feel like patchwork is super boring. Yeah, I knew I was gonna die soon. What's gonna happen if I hit the revive button? See, that works fine. Why is the rest of it not working? That's okay. I'll probably just do a custom insert again on Dungeon Respawn and see if that does it. But, I mean, this place should count as a raid, so... Yeah, it seems like I broke my spell talent DBC somehow, as it will lose spells, yeah. So, again, the talent DBC is very finicky. It's easy to break, and you can't add new lines to it, basically, is what it comes down to. So, that's why Belgarth is doing what Belgarth is doing. So that we could actually add more lines. I probably should be looking at a threat manager or something for this fight, but... Okay, so we're gonna skip to Thaddeus? Maybe? Let's just go hide. Fly over everyone. Everything. Yeah, because I remember him... I remember Blue doing a skip that involved using the wings over here. I think that's such a cool door, by the way. Yeah, door's locked, so I need to pretend to kill Gluth. And again, everything on this fight, work in progress, so... Mod speed 1... Yeah, sorry, I just checked next 40 is marked as an ice cream parlor, not a raid. But this is definitely something I need to fix prior to an update, because I really don't want people to be screwed over by something stupid like that. So Mage bot, let's put some healers over here. Honestly, I'm gonna cheese this. I'm just gonna cheese it. Because you're able to cheese it anyway. I did remove the, like if you kill them at the same time, in the repack at the moment, they'll just kill the other person. So, I did remove that. Their lightning damage for being too close is also still removed, so there's that. I could probably put those things back in now that we have individual slack stuff that you could do, but I don't know. We'll see. wow, still have fly on. Okay. Gotta summon them. So it's a good idea to just probably start right here if you're melee. But you'll see the bots move back and forth as soon as polarity goes out. Because I did get them to move. And we'll hero as soon as we get polarity. But some of the issues that I'm running across, and I think it's because the spell script is not being updated, or overwritten properly, rather. So I might just need to create a new spell entry and create a specific spell that doesn't overwrite. So here we go. Polarity shift. Now bots are on the right locations, and you'll notice that there's still a bot that's in the wrong spot. But it's only the bots that are around the player for some reason that are affected and get the damage increase, so it's a lot of lag right now. I think it's because I'm streaming, but... So I'm negative now, now we're going negative. But now you can at least somewhat do the mechanic. Again, though, you're the only one who's getting damaged if someone screws up, so that's the one thing I'm trying to fix. I just think it's cool that it works. Like, it seems like the hardest one for bots to do right is that, like, the actual first one. Well, maybe that one too, because my rogue screwed that one up, so... Just stay here. Someone on the wrong spot, maybe. I swear, because I updated one of his spells, it should be leaving a dot on me, but maybe I forgot to update it in spell editor. This might not turn into a development stream too much, I'm sorry. I know I said so in the title, but I've got to leave soon. But yeah, happens, just a few bad players, very realistic, it's true. I just am glad that I got it to work, because that was bugging me. And you still need to do the mechanic right anyway, because you're not going to get the damage otherwise. Even if it is only like half your rate actually getting the buff, but again, I think it's just a matter of scripting it out specific to max 40. But because the override is not working. But yeah, there's other creatures in the instance that probably still need a little bit of fixing when it comes to the correct spell usage. Here, I'll show you what it looks like when I fail. Yeah, I'm trying to add custom custom movement things to bots, so we can use them in later fights. That's pretty much the biggest goal. Okay, let me show you. See if I screw up. It's just me who dies, and I think it's a targeting issue with the spell itself and not actually anything else. But yeah, like if you look at the spell, so I'm worried what's going to happen if Alan reses me. See, okay, you get res normally, and you get put in the right spot, but if someone resurrects you with the battle res, that's kind of obnoxious, so... anyway. My inventory is not full. What are you talking about? It's never full. Got the shield. That's nice. But yeah, so let's look at the spell. So I think what's happening is a couple things. I think number one, things are not getting overwritten. I left my normal display on, so that is that chain lightning though. Let me see if that's actually fixed, because I don't think that should be working, but I guess not. So these the damaging ones, the ones that are supposed to do damage, is one of these. There's so many like spells associated with the charge effects, so it's hard for me to keep track without actually looking at them. Okay, so yeah, this one. So this is the one that deals damage, but the flag is player only. So I think that's what's happening and why bots are not getting targeted for the damage. But they were getting targeted like last night for me for damage. So I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with the script. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just me. It's but I've been, like I said, I've been working on the actual script itself for the negative charge, and trying to get basically hard-code a bunch of crap that shouldn't be hard-coded, but I'm just trying to get to work the way I want. So like this damage being adjusted for 1500 is not happening, and same with that. So I just think I need to write a new spell ID and then go from there. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. My wife needs me for a bit, but thank you guys for tuning in. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'm very much looking forward to showing you guys off Nax and some of the challenge stuff involved there. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for live streaming after that. Probably another character, but we'll see. So yeah, and have a good night. Talk to you soon.